Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I wanted to try and quickly talk about how to troubleshoot and repair one of the 2010 interactive Buzz Lightyears from Thinkway. Keep in mind during this video, the one I was trying to fix had a broken gear on the inside, so I was not actually able to completely repair him. If a broken gear is not your problem though, this video should still help. I'll try and do a future update at some point if I can find a readily available replacement gear, but until then this video should still at least help with other issues. I've already done a series of videos in the past on how to open most of these Buzz Lightyears from around 2010, and basically there's just 4 screws that you need to remove on his back plate, and they're just Phillips head screws. I have noticed, however, that the Signature Collection and these interactive ones seem to have a bit of glue occasionally on the top 2 screws, because I've taken apart 2 of these and both of them I ran into issues trying to take the top 2 screws out. So I recommend having a large, basically as large of a head Phillips head screwdriver as you can fit inside of the cavity there, and then press and turn as hard as you can before you strip out the screw. Anyway, the video will now take over from the point after I got him apart and then sort of go through my troubleshooting tips. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so now with the Buzz Lightyear apart, you can see all the wiring inside. These are just for infrared receiving and transmitting, and then you have the buttons on the front as well as the speaker. And the only components that plug in and out is his laser light and button. They're just on this one plug here. So you can see his head motor unit is right here. Depending on how much wear and tear they got from being played with, this one was actually very dirty when I first started with it. So you can see it still has a bit of dirt buildup on it. So if you're having problems with it stuttering or not moving up and down, what it probably needs is lubrication, which that's what I'm going to do with this motor unit. You can see if I turn him on,
I am Buzz Lightyear.
It actually moves surprisingly well.
Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
But it still has a bit of
I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
stuttery motion
I am
to
a
it,
member of the Universe Protection Unit.
whereas eyelids aren't moving quite as smoothly as they should. So what I normally use on everything is 3-in-1 silicone oil, and this usually works very well to lubricate all components. You just want to apply a small dab of oil to the top of the motor shaft, and that should help it a lot.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something.
But the next problem you'll run into if you're not careful with the oil is you could lubricate the whole belt, so then you'll need to dry that off.
The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy.
Another problem that these often have is the way the motor works is they have a rubber belt linkage from the actual motor unit to the gear shaft, and sometimes the gearing inside can wear off over time, and that can cause the belt to completely fail, or sometimes the gear will split on the inside.
Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
You can see it's starting to move a lot smoother now.
I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit. Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something.
Another thing you can try is just getting a new rubber band. Sometimes these old ones just need to be replaced anyway. And what I found works very well for both Toy Story Collection as well as these interactive buddies are these rubber bands. These were actually marketed as horse hair ties. Just a weird thing I figured out. So you can actually place these right onto the old motor rubber band connection point.
The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy. Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
And you can see that's starting to move a lot smoother.
I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit.
And also the eyes are closing more than they were before.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something. The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy. Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
Another thing that I'm noticing with this motor unit is that the gearing is making some noise. I'm not really sure if I can bring it any closer to the camera so you can hear better. So if you hear when I play it,
I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit. Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something.
it has a bit of clicking going on, and my theory is it's probably has a small cracked gear on the inside. And currently I do not have a very good way to fix that. On one of my Toy Story Collection motor boxes, which does look like this, I was able to actually get a brand new gear for the inside linkage that was made out of metal, which I was able to find off of another motor unit for free. So just sort of look around. Sometimes you can actually find parts, since they're all pretty common from China, but I'll try and keep my eye out and see if I can find some parts and put them in the description so you can order them.
The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy. Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
And just another quick overview. If you're having problems with the motor going too far back and forth and it's making too much movement, the sensor here probably needs to be cleaned or the wires are broken. Sometimes these little solder joints can break off, and also the sensor can be cleaned. And again, I'll just do a bit of the oil, and I'll do that on here as well, because the grease that was on the motor unit is sort of dry.
I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit. Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something. The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy.
And you can hear the grinding a bit more now.
Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit. Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me?
So, I'm not sure if there's much I can really do with that. I can open up the motor box in another video if you want. I think this is a pretty good start. You can also lubricate the back movement piece for his eyelids.
Sheriff, I said something.
Because
The
obviously
security of the entire
there is
universe is in jeopardy.
a joint on the back that holds the eyelid in place, but usually that won't do much. Most of the problems are caused by the motor unit itself.
Buzz Lightyear sign of intelligent life anywhere. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
So you can see, compared to when I started, the motor unit does make more fluid motions and they open and close further.
I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit.
Because before they were barely going down past half level.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I said something. The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy. Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody.
So there you have it. If you have any other questions or comments regarding the motor unit and problems associated with it, just let me know and I can try and make another video. Now I'm just going to quickly sort of demonstrate how to put it back together. I always try and put my parts in a plastic bag if I tend to move away from certain projects and get caught up between different things, so you can just keep all your parts in one place. Also, if you have any joints on Buzz that are really stiff, you can use that oil as well, but they'll become extremely loose. So there his laser arm is working. And then when you're putting the chest plate back on, you want to make sure you're not pinching any wires. And the Toy Story collection Buzz Lightyears, as well as these, both have issues with the motor unit getting caught up with the wires, where you think you got your Buzz Lightyear back together and then all of a sudden it fails due to the fact that the motor is being pinched and you have to take it all back apart again. So before you close them up, just try and test quickly. Another thing is, make sure you have the globe in place correctly. If it fell out, there's a few ways you can tell if it's facing the front. Usually these are marked with a right and a left.
Time for hypersleep again. Buzz Lightyear, signing off.
And then the globe itself, these newer Thinkway Buzz Lightyears usually have a certain way they go in. This one seems to be almost glued or fused in place because it doesn't want to move out. And I don't particularly want to force it out since it's in place. Just I'd recommend when you're taking them apart to just leave the globe in place if you can. And I'm not seeing a right or a left marking on here right now. There is a right and a left on the Toy Story collection Buzz Lightyears, but for these it doesn't appear like they have a marking. Alright, so back to just putting this on. If it does not want to close, don't force anything, because oftentimes the wires can also get caught in the screw holes, and you'll try and screw them back together and you might snap a wire. That's almost happened to me a few times. So that seems like a pretty snug fit.
To infinity and beyond.
That almost seems to me like the motor unit's getting caught because it didn't want to go back up. would have been really nice if they just made the whole chest plate with a ribbon cord, so you could just plug it in and out, and it would all be neat and orderly, not this mess of wires.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
So that seems like the correct amount of movement and no grinding sounds, and all the seams are closing. And then I'll just take my screws out. You will need a nice long Phillips head. Just put everything in place.
I am a member of the Universe Protection Unit.
And then just another test quick.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Do you read me? Sheriff, I sent something.
So that's bad.
The security of the entire universe is in jeopardy. Buzz Lightyear calling Sheriff Woody.
That seems like it's getting stuck. Well, if you're still here, congrats on making it to the end of the video. I apologize for not having a bit more content, but at that point I basically gave up on trying to record a solution because it was obvious to me the motor was broken. So, like I say, I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to try and answer them. And I will try my best to find a gear eventually so that everyone could buy it and replace it easily. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and be sure to check out the other videos on my channel.